Hi guys, I just want to apologize for literally disappearing for 5 months. I don't really have that much of an explanation besides the fact that junior year is really stressful. If you don't know what junior year is, it's kind of the year where you start thinking about like university and college and all that stuff, and it's just like a lot. That and also just I haven't really thought of what to talk about. I've tried to film multiple times, just I haven't really just thought of a good idea. And I don't want to just talk to a camera just to talk to a camera. I want to have intentions behind my words. So that kind of resulted in a lack of content. I guess I wasn't feeling really creative or stuff like that. And actually that's kind of the topic of today's video, creativity, and I feel like kind of the death of it. I think in the past few years I've really been able to recognize the fact that I have a phone addiction, like severely. Like it's actually really bad. I think I have it like probably the worst of my friends. Like I will be on my phone for literally 15 hours straight in one day, which is insane. My air conditioning's on now, sorry guys about that. I really don't have control over that. But I broke my knee. That's another thing that happened. But due to that I got one of my finals like exempt, so I had to take it in the summer. So school's been let out for like 4 weeks now, but I took my final today. And literally for some reason it was so hard for me to study for it. I mean, besides the fact that like I had surgery and all that, I just think like I literally wouldn't go off my phone. Like it was so bad. The minute I was told, oh, okay, you're basically done for the school year just to take this one exam, my brain just like automatically checked out, and I just was always on my phone. Like I would try to study, I would always just go back to my phone. It was actually really bad. Like literally I had to re-download this like app I had freshman year that was like it basically makes it so that like it times you to study and you don't like go on your phone in that time period. It's like a focus app, which like really helped. But like I think the fact that I need to download an app like that in order to just do my schoolwork is kind of crazy. It's kind of sad honestly too. And this is coming from someone who growing up I was a huge reader, like insane. Like I would actually like go through a book a day, and now I just like have kind of not an interest in picking up books, which is actually really sad to say. I thought I would never say that. I remember growing up that everyone would say like, oh, like, you know, like once you get to high school you're gonna grow out of reading, and I was like, oh, I'm never gonna do that. And like I've grown out of it, which I do really want to get back into it. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like because school or just because my phone, probably a mixture of both, honestly. I think in the school aspect it's probably because I feel like if I'm reading words on a paper, I can be reading words on the paper that are more important, like a textbook or my testing, like my ACT testing like booklet or whatever. Like I always feel like, oh, if I'm using my energy to be reading, I can be reading something else that's more important and educational, and that can actually impact my future, my GPA, and my college. So I think that's one thing. I get really stressed about it when I read for some reason now, which is really unfortunate. But another thing is I think my dopamine levels are fried, like actually fried, because TikTok has like destroyed that, like actually so bad. I catch myself doom scrolling all the time, and like I've tried to delete the app and I always re-download it. I probably should delete it again. Literally when I go to pick up a book now, it's like just hard for me to get into it, if that makes sense. Like I can't like get into the story as easier as I could, and I feel like that's probably because like TikTok, like when you scroll you literally get like a dopamine hit in literally like, I don't know, 5 seconds, and you're like happy, and then it's like on to the next video, another dopamine hit. But when you read, it's like you have to meet the characters, you have to get into the plot, you have to get into the story, and like all that stuff. That's probably a reason why like if I am reading, I'm probably on AO3, because I don't have to like get into the plot. Like I already know the characters, even if it's like another AU, like it doesn't matter, like I know these people, you know what I mean? But I do wish I could like pick up like an actual book, like just, I don't even, like I should probably fucking finish the Twilight series, huh? Like, or damn. It's kind of sad because I've always like kind of imagined myself to be this like, oh, reader girl, and I've always like kind of labeled it as like a reading slump. But I think it's gotten to the point where it's not a reading slump. Like if it was a reading slump, and the fact that I'm in summer, I would be going through books like crazy. And I think out of the two, the one that probably impacts it more is probably the dopamine thing, because I mean I have technically been out of school for 3 weeks despite me having to take my final. I've still had loads of free time, but I more lean towards going on my phone or playing Block Blast or whatever am I doing on my phone, rather than just picking up a book and reading like how I used to. And I don't really have that excuse of school anymore, so And I feel like with like me not reading anymore, I think it's definitely impacted my creativity a lot. I think that I'm definitely just a less creative person. I think when you read, you kind of build these like worlds in your mind, and it definitely like I don't, whatever side. I think the left side is the creative one, whatever if that's the right one. But whatever the side of like creativity is in your brain, I think that's definitely like kind of died in me, which is really sad when you think about it. Like I really like I'm just not as creative as I used to be, and I think in result like I haven't like had this like oh my god like ideas to make content. Like I wasn't making content because one, I'm busy. I'm a very very busy person. Like my schedule's like crazy. Like you can ask my friends, but like two, like I just haven't thought of anything to say because I don't like there's nothing up here. It's just literally just TikTok after TikTok after TikTok, which is so sad. Like I can't even be my own person. I have to formulate my thoughts to other people and like get these opinions fed to me. And I saw this TikTok the other day that kind of like really resonated with me actually. It was this like guy who literally says like I re-downloaded TikTok just to say this and I'm gonna delete it right after because this app is stupid. And it was basically like him saying the internet isn't real. And like there was a comment that was like it's a matrix inside of a matrix, and I was like wow, it is. The video was kind of saying about like how like people edit their bodies online, but I think it honestly goes past that. Nothing we see online is real. Not even like I know all the bodies are fake, people edit it, people facetune, whatever. That's not the point. What I'm saying is that like the trends that we follow and like all these like memes, like if you were to say that to a person who doesn't use TikTok or Instagram, like if I say it to my dad who doesn't have social media, he has Instagram to like my stories and to like talk to my like uncle, and then Twitter in order to follow the stock market. Like that's all he uses it for, and like he's barely on his phone. And if I were to like tell him what a Labubu is, like he'd be like, girl, what are you on? Like literally, like if you talk to anyone who's like normal, like they don't know these things. And like honestly that's the way it should be, because like what do you mean like people like 6'7" is a joke? Like I feel like we've really lost the plot, and like I'm part of that. Like I'm not being like oh my god I'm so different, like I don't use the internet. Like no, I do use, I'm literally posting YouTube right now. I'm literally chronically online AF, but like it's really bad. Like I really shouldn't be. Like I don't even know. I should probably like I wish I could like sometimes just wipe my face off like the internet and just be this like nonchalant person who literally like doesn't go online. Like I wish that could be me, but like I don't think that ever will be. Like I'm always just like a chronically online girl. You like I at the base of it I just need my fan edits. Like if I could get those like offline that'd be phenomenal, but like it even goes past that. Like I just always need this like urge to just scroll and scroll and scroll. Like literally my dopamine has been so bad. I remember there was a time period where it's not like this anymore. Well, it's kind of like this. There was a time point where I literally couldn't watch YouTube anymore. It was that bad. And this comes from someone who would watch YouTube all the time. I would watch Twitch. I was like watching streams that were like 3 hours long, and like I'd be like happy throughout it all. But like I could never do that now. Like now I'd be so bored. And even with YouTube I couldn't get through like a 20-minute video, even a 10-minute video. Like there was a point where I had to watch it on 2 times speed if I really was fighting to watch it. Or to the point where I'd just only get 5 minutes in and I would exit the app. Like it's really bad. I know people like personally that like literally can't get through a movie without just they can't get through a movie. Like I've like told them like oh follow me on Letterboxd, and I'm like they were like I don't have it. I'm like oh like download it like movies, and they were like I can't sit through a movie, and I'm like that's crazy. That's actually insane. And I feel like that's part of the reason why like movie theaters low-key are like dead now. Like I mean there's multiple reasons because of that. COVID, the rise of streaming services, increase in ticket prices, because what do you mean I'm paying like $25 to watch something that I could probably watch for free in my house, but whatever, it's for the experience. But like for like there are people that probably can't get through a movie without like coming on their phone, or just like they just can't get through a movie. They can't sit and watch a movie for 2.5 hours because it's like the dopamine. You need the dopamine all the time, which is like literally insane. Like if you were to tell like someone this, like probably like maybe like 25 years ago, like they'd be like, girl, what are you saying? What do you mean you can't get through 10 things I hate about you? Like you freak. I feel like overall like creativity low-key has just like died, which is like really, that's dramatic. My creativity has died. I'm just spreading propaganda. I'm just whatever projecting. I think that's kind of the end of like my yap session. If anyone has any tips on how to like kind of like stop their phone addiction, please let me know. I think the number one thing is deleting TikTok. I think that's like the first step. I think after that, it's kind of like whatever. There was a time though, I remember this year where I had to study for my like I had to study. I don't know why, I had a test coming up, so I literally deleted everything off my phone. I deleted Instagram, I deleted TikTok, I deleted, that's all I have. But I literally deleted everything except for YouTube, and I literally wouldn't go on my phone. Like I was probably on my phone for probably max like 2 hours because there was nothing to do on it. I would go on my phone and be like, oh, this is boring. I'm opening my email. Like, it literally got to the point where I was opening my email and scrolling through it for fun. But like, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have to be at that point. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I should be able to have a social media without being so severely addicted to it. Does that make sense? Like, it maybe I have to like work to that point though. Like, maybe I have to delete it and then re-download it and then like give myself a limit. And like, I know people are gonna say like, oh, just use screen time. Like, bro, I bypass that. I bypass that so bad. Like, it does not work on me. But yeah. Okay, that's all. Bye, guys.